Competency-based learning. Most of the school curriculum focuses on time-bound content and skill-based learning. Students are taught discipline-specific courses to construct knowledge and develop necessary skills among them. Moreover, students' performance in their subject knowledge and skills is usually evaluated through performance-based standardized tests through formative and summative assessments. The general curriculum may not be prepared to promote personalized learning. In addition, subject knowledge might not be helpful for them to develop the necessary skills required in the 21st century. Although the theoretical knowledge imparted during their academic career may help them develop their concepts and information about the subjects, it may not be adequate to fulfill the needs of the learners required for their professional success. The workplace demands skilled and competent students in order to face challenges in real-world scenarios in the fast-growing world. They also need to be well-trained to apply these skills in various professional contexts. Proper training focusing on all the relevant skills prepares them well to meet the needs and standards of organizations and ultimately achieve their future goals. Therefore, there is a strong need to incorporate an approach that is useful for developing competencies among the learners. A competency-based approach to learning seems to be the most effective approach. It adopts a competency-based model as an additional option for the students. Scope and nature of CBL. The CBL approach to learning adopts a more practical and professional approach where students' competencies are developed and defined through an application-oriented process. This approach also tries to ensure students' competencies through measurable learning outcomes. It provides scope to the students to go beyond knowledge construction with the prescribed syllabus and to acquire skills used in professional fields. The nature of competency-based learning provides the students with learning environments in which they can learn as per their interest, choice of subjects, own pace, flexible time, and understanding. In this approach to learning, teachers facilitate them to master the skills, including subject knowledge, and enable them to achieve intended learning outcomes. Purpose of CBL in English classroom. The competency-based learning follows a multi-dimensional approach that serves three dimensions: for students, for curriculum and teachers, for industry. The first dimension, for students. The CBL approach is helpful for students in focusing on one subject of their choice in which they wish to excel rather than studying multiple disciplines. It allows them to take ample time to concentrate on the subject of their choice and develop desired skills in that area to gain expertise in a particular field ultimately. As far as the English language skills are concerned, CBL provides an opportunity for the students to develop communication skills in English, mainly used in the professional field. They gain competence in using English by practicing it in similar workplace scenario. The second dimension, for curriculum and teachers. The CBL approach provides scope for bringing diversity in the courses offered to the students under the prescribed curriculum. These courses are directly aligned with the needs of the industries in the 21st century and help in preparing students to meet industry requirements. It also provides teachers with an opportunity to equip the students with specific English language skills through hands-on experience before they get into professional fields. Teachers make efforts in designing and developing the English syllabus that includes situation-based learning environments such as group discussion, interview, negotiation, explanation, presentation, demonstration, and the like. For industry, the third dimension, the competency-based approach helps the enterprise identify and select students equipped with the skills necessary to bring productivity to a workplace. It helps promote collaboration among the institutes and industries with a guarantee of bringing a skilled workforce and assures the employability rate. This approach makes it convenient for the industry to recruit students already familiar with the language functions used at a workplace, since they are trained through classroom teaching, lab, and other experiential activities. Competency-based learning versus traditional learning. The competency-based learning is contrary to the traditional approach to learning in many ways. A clear distinction between these two approaches based on several parameters is shown in the table below. Imagine the table to have 3 columns with multiple rows. Each row has a parameter. The first column is parameters. The second column states traditional approach, and the third column talks about competency-based approach. Let's look at this parameter-wise. The first parameter is learning objectives. The learning objectives of the traditional approach to learning is to enable the learners to develop theoretical and conceptual knowledge of the subjects included in the curriculum. The learning objective of the competency-based approach, on the other hand, is to adopt a more practical and professional practice. The second parameter is learning outcomes. Learners are trained through the traditional approach to develop their knowledge and show their understanding of the concepts taught in the fixed classroom environment. In the competency-based learning approach, learners are trained to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in the workplace and real-world environment. The third parameter is focused on the learning environment. In the traditional approach, learners gain theoretical and conceptual knowledge in a fixed, time-bound, and examination-oriented classroom environment. On the other hand, in the competency-based learning, learners gain practical knowledge of the specific subject in a workplace in an inclusive classroom environment where each individual gets equal opportunity to participate in learning actively. For the fourth parameter, syllabus and curriculum, the curriculum and syllabus in the traditional approach to learning are usually assumed to be ideal for all class learners. Learners' performances are assessed through a rigid examination-based model. In the competency-based approach, what is followed is a curriculum and syllabus that are specifically designed and developed by the personalized needs of the learners. It allows them to build their competence at their own pace and time. The fifth parameter is pedagogy. The pedagogy adopted in this approach aims to include a single curriculum-based approach suitable for the majority of learners from a particular level of age. It usually works on the philosophy, one size fits all. On the other hand, the competency-based learning approach follows a multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary approach where learners are carefully prepared to develop the required competency and necessary skills along with life skills, values, attitude, and behavior. There is also the teaching and learning practices parameter. The traditional approach adopts product-based lecture, explanation, illustration, rote learning, memorization, discussion, and practice methods to get command over the theories and concepts. On the other hand, the competency-based learning approach follows project-based, experimental, and collaborative approaches and includes projects, group projects, and demonstration methods to develop competency and skills of learners to enable them to perform better in real-life contexts. In the parameter that focuses on learning tasks and activities, the traditional approach includes tasks and activities to produce knowledge of particular concepts such as classroom discussions, assessment, practice tasks, activities such as comprehension, essay writing, presentation, and others. On the other hand, the competency-based language learning focuses on tasks and activities such as experiments, situation-based tasks and activities, problem-solving tasks, logical reasoning, project case studies, portfolios, simulations, presentations, and so on. Under the language proficiency parameter, the traditional learning approach promotes form-based language proficiency where the focus is on form, accuracy, structure, and error-free language to be produced in the forms of marks and grades. On the other hand, the competency-based approach focuses on language skills, including listening, speaking, reading, and writing, on competence based rubrics. It emphasizes more functional and situational language proficiency as per the industry standards. In the learning assessment parameter, traditional learning approach applies a common evaluation pattern, including formative and summative, to assess learners' performance of a concept learnt in the classroom. Learners are graded as per their performance in the test and promoted to the next level. Competency-based learning approach adopts a criterion-based evaluation pattern where the learner's performance is assessed through an objective assessment based on individualized rubrics. The assessment is conducted to confirm whether a student can demonstrate the level of competency required in a specific field. The role of teacher's parameter is interesting. The role of teacher in the traditional approach is to impart knowledge, give instructions, share information, provide inputs, provide adequate practice through tasks, activities, assess learners' performance, and monitor their progress. In the competency-based learning approach, teachers play the role of a facilitator, a mentor, guide, instructor, and creator of learning environment, assistant and evaluator of learners' competencies. The role of learners as a parameter is also interesting. In the traditional approach, students are mostly passive in the classroom, behave as receivers of knowledge and information. In the competency-based learning approach, however, students work as demonstrators and performers. They are expected to participate actively in the learning process and take responsibility for their learning. Advantages of CBL. It is clear from the distinction that competency-based learning approach provides better scope for the learners to gain mastery of the competencies required in the industry. Although there are numerous advantages of CBL, some of the advantages of CBL exclusive to English language skills development are listed here. Learners' acquisition and learning varies individually. So, CBL provides a personalized learning experience for the students. It provides flexible and self-paced learning that is helpful for language learners to learn at their own convenience. It provides a scope for the teachers and learners to develop framework that tends to meet the students' language needs. In this approach, learners' language competencies can be defined initially and later their learning can be monitored. It promotes practical ways of learning through which learners tend to use language in real-world contexts. It encourages students to develop linguistic competency through language application and demonstration. It helps learners experience and understand problems in real-world contexts and then try to develop a logical solution. CBL also provides a scope for defining assessment and curriculum patterns to achieve necessary outcomes. It is helpful for the teachers to monitor the process of students' language competency and provide the necessary scaffolding to attain the standard level of competency. It allows students to develop communication skills while collaborating with other students. It promotes growth-oriented and application-oriented learning mindset to achieve the desired learning outcomes. It helps students in developing critical thinking and creative skills. It encourages learners' active participation and higher engagement with the learning tasks and activities. CBL helps in developing the best employability skills and opportunities for the students. Thus, the advantages of CBL are quite prominent. There is a focus on skills in CBL. Language skills, communication skills, critical thinking, life skills, employability skills are focused upon. Another advantage is the learning environment, which is flexible and self-paced, includes monitored learning, real-life context, and assessments. The learning style is Application and demonstration based includes scaffolding through peers and teachers and active participation with higher engagement. The orientation is to meet the language needs of the students. The focus on the standard level of competency and is growth oriented and application oriented.